Welcome back to Real Estate Radio TV. We have the pleasure to welcome Arnaud Claoué, co-founder and managing partners at Othrys, a French-based asset manager focusing in operational real estate with about 1.3 billion euros in asset under management for third parties. Arnaud, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
It's a great pleasure to have you on. And before we talk about the retail shopping center market, I want you to give us a small introduction about Othrys establishing itself as a leading asset manager for the French sector.
You want to hear about Othrys,
Exactly.
basically. Othrys has been founded back 10 years ago, and we are pretty much specialized in two sectors, which is one, the retail, and secondly, the logistics sector. We operate today, we manage 125 properties spread over throughout France, and it's worth 1.3 billion euros of assets. And maybe we have created recently a fund, a real estate fund, which invests in logistics. And we are really specialized in the value-add sector. Yeah.
One of your core focus, like you mentioned, is the asset management of shopping centers, commercial galleries. As a whole, we have seen less momentum in that sector over the past couple of years compared to other sectors such as logistics or everything that's in relation to supply chain. Are the fundamentals for shopping centers still here? And what is your overall outlook on the sector?
Yeah, I think we have a good look at that because we are managing both warehouses and retail properties. We are somehow in the middle of this shift from offline to online retail. So we are a good witness of this change, and the change has been huge over the last 10 years, and of course accelerated through the COVID period. Basically, during that period, it's simple. The vacancy increased. We have seen a lot of store closures, and the rental values as well as property values have declined. So basically, it's really an asset class which is not attracting a lot of investors at the moment, and that's what we like because we are an opportunist investor. It's especially true for shopping centers because shopping centers are heavily linked with the fashion industry. Right. And over the last few years, fashion has been impacted by online heavily, and they used to occupy a majority of the space of the stores, of the shopping centers. The shopping centers have been built for fashion, basically. So the impact has been quite significant on shopping centers. Now that's a very dark picture, but the momentum is quite good at the moment. So basically, visitors are going back to shopping centers. The turnover of the retailers are back to pre-COVID period. So there's a good momentum. There's new paid players. And I would say that even traditional players on the retail market, they now have a multi-channel strategy. So they combine both online and physical retail. So the market is much better, and we are pretty confident that the investors will come back to this asset class because it looks very cheap compared to other asset class, and because as well the investors have lost confidence in the office properties, especially for secondary locations. So the capital inflow to shopping center will come back. For instance, we are just about to buy a shopping center with a very value-add strategy.
Okay, so at this stage of the cycle, to really summarize, we could say that the shopping center retail industry is going through changes, and that might be the great time for contrarian type of investors that when the market is not there, they go there, they invest, they wait on the cycle to ride out and expect to make a big chunk of the profit when the cycle is ride out. So at this stage of the cycle, it's really for those type of investors, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, In my opinion, it's the right time to go back to this market. But to be successful with that kind of strategy, there's a few key aspects that you need to do. First of all, you need to be very selective on the center. Very selective in terms of selecting the asset which has the right fundamentals. Secondly, you need to have the team able to lease and attract new brands. And you need to bear in mind that there is newcomers on this market, and even pure online players, they need now to open stores in the shopping centers. We have some sectors which are very successful, like health and beauty, like discounters, like home furniture. And sometimes you need to be innovative. So, for instance, we have signed 2 medical centers in our shopping centers, which is something new. We have turned the garage into restaurants or things like that. So you need to change the commercial offer of your shopping center. And you need as well to be able to invest in the center, so to do some works, to renovate, refurbish, reshape the center in some cases, so resize the units. So it's an active asset management strategy you need to implement. But once you have done that, clearly a shopping center is an established asset with a strong income flow, so with a good value.
All right, so really having the right location and also having the right team of property and asset manager. Like you mentioned, we've been through a lot of social changes those past couple of years, I would say those past 10 years. The way people work, live, and shop. Really, how has the shopping experience changed over the span of the past couple of years? And really, since you have an understanding both from the investment perspective, but also from the user perspective, how can owners better optimize their asset to accommodate today's demand from customers?
Basically, you need to turn the commercial offer of your center, to change it. There's more services in our centers, more services. You need to offer, there's more local players as well. So we have, rather than only having national or international brands in the centers, there's local players, which is a nice trend. And you need to serve a good shopping experience ultimately for the customer.
Well, Arnaud, thank you for being here. It's been a great pleasure. We will put your different links, including your website and your LinkedIn, in the bio. So if people are ever interested in entering or expanding into the French market, you can be their help from an asset management perspective. Guys, make sure you download our app. That's available both on the App Store and Android. And talk to you soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.